left to my own devices.
So the Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1 is finally officially out there, and like you could have guessed, it doesn't look nearly as good as it does on the other consoles.
And I mean, the problems with the Switch version don't stop there. It's not just that the graphics are terrible, it's that the frame rate is also terrible, it's that the gameplay is clunky, it's that the connectivity is worse, it's that the menus are unresponsive, it's that the load times are terrible. But worst of all, it's the fact that they're selling this for a full $70 and tried to hide the game's state from you for as long as possible. They even had to pull the Switch trailer from YouTube because it was discovered, hilariously, that it wasn't actually the Switch gameplay in the Switch trailer. It was the Steam version with the graphics changed to make it look like the Switch version. Because not even the people selling you this game wanted you to see it. Just want to make that clear before we get into the rest of this video, because there seems to be a not zero number of people trying to defend the state of Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch by just saying like, oh, it's worse graphics. What did you expect? Oh, what did you expect? It's a Switch port. Of course the graphics are worse. When first of all, that's not where the problems with the game end. And second of all, they're selling this for $70 and marketing it as if it's the same experience. That is the controversy. If the Switch version of the game just looked worse and ran worse, but also was like $20 less, I don't think anyone would even care.
And that's fine. But what's not fine is that people are going out of their way to be dishonest and to lie about how the Switch version actually looks.
Yes, people like Nintendo, who had to pull the Switch trailer of the game from YouTube. And they would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling Steam achievements. That's how they discovered it, by the way. Like that's how it was exposed, is at one point in the this is so stupid. At one point in the Switch trailer, a Steam achievement pops up. And like how would you not think this was gonna happen? How did you think you were gonna get away with this?
You're probably asking yourself, well, lie? How can they lie about that, Doctor? The footage is there. What is there to lie about? Well, there's two possible things that's going on here. Either these people are not downloading the full day one patch, or there is a texture bug that is in the Switch version that is causing the textures to not load.
So, let me get this straight. Because they didn't download a day one patch, that means the experience is invalid. Which, just side note, the game still is ass after the patch. The game's been out for like a week or like maybe 2 weeks-ish now. I mean, I recommend you watch this video by Digital Foundry. Their breakdown of the Switch version is really, really comprehensive and good, and it really just highlights everything wrong with this version of the game. Like, yeah, maybe the day one patch fixed a few things, but in terms of the big core problems with this version of the game, the day one patch didn't do shit. It just made things a little less hilarious. But as for this other thing, it's because of a texture bug. Okay. Like, so? Like, if I'm playing a game and it crashes, and I go on Twitter and I'm like, what the fuck? Why'd this game crash? Why is this game crashing on me all the time? And then someone comments like, no, bro, you don't get it. There's a bug. Stop being mad. There's just a bug. Quit lying about the game crashing. It's because of a bug. You didn't mention this very specific bug, therefore what you said is invalid. Like, what is this? People don't care why the game looks like shit. They care about the game looking like shit.
And it's very noticeable. But the problem is, the people that are doing these reviews, the people that are uploading these pictures, these videos, aren't talking about that.
One of my favorite things in various gaming communities is just like watching how different communities react to garbage on their platform. Like, a game with garbage performance and massive technical issues will come out on the PS5, and the PS5 dudes will be like, what? What performance issues? Look at the graphics. There can't be performance issues. What? No, they're not there. Game with garbage performance and technical issues comes out on PC, and the Steam community is like, fantastic. I was just sharpening my expensive knife collection. Let's go make another mostly negative label. But on the Switch, a game comes out with garbage performance and technical issues, and the Nintendo dudes will come out like, yeah, the performance is shit, and it's total bullshit that they're charging full price for it, yeah. But also, let me tell you why it's not actually as bad as it could have been. Like, let me tell you why the criticisms you're making are actually weirdly, twistedly incorrect because they're not completely fulfilled with the criteria of what makes a bad game terrible, and therefore it's okay. Like, has anyone else noticed that? Like, Nintendo dudes are always so quick to point out the things that could have been worse, or like the criticisms that aren't 100% totally complete all the time, and therefore the nonsense they're being sold on the Switch is okay. Like, it's so complacent. It's honestly kind of sad. Like, I feel like even the biggest fanboys of fanboys on other platforms don't do this. Like, why are you so eager to do the damage control for the company ripping you off?
And they're being very disingenuous when they're doing that. They're like literally lying to your face and hoping that you don't notice.
Again, just so we're clear, the company selling you this game had to take down their own trailer of the game because they were using a different platform's version. Like, they were so eager to make sure you don't see the thing they're charging you for, but you're calling out people who criticized it in a way that you think is incomplete and calling those people dishonest or... Dude, this is pathetic. This is pathetic.
All it takes is for you to go and look at other footage of the game on the Switch to see that obviously there's a bug there and that's not how it's supposed to look.
Again, go watch the Digital Foundry video. It's from yesterday, September 24th. So I don't want to hear anything about how, oh, Digital Foundry's not acknowledging that either. He didn't get the patch either. Just go watch the fucking Digital Foundry video and stop. Just, no, stop.
But these places will, even IGN, will sit up there and make you think that that's how it's supposed to look on the Switch.
They're not saying that's how it's supposed to look. They're saying that's how it does look. Like, I don't get this. I don't get you. I really don't understand the angle you're trying to take here.
And that's ridiculous. But you guys know I always got the receipts, so let's check this out. So, on IGN's comparison, they got Reptile over there looking like a fruit snack, looking all gummy, no textures.
Okay, look, I know I can be mean sometimes. That was the best thing I've heard all day.
But that's how he actually looks on the Switch. Interesting. Not as good as he does on the other systems, mind you. But he doesn't look like that. He don't look like a fruit snack. He don't look like something you about to put in your lunch pail next to your juice box and your Doritos.
Again, I'm really not sure what the point of this is here. You're saying that, oh, he doesn't actually look as bad here. Like, here's, like, IGN posts a video of, like, oh, here's the best case scenario versus the worst case scenario. And you're like, well, it's not always worst case scenario. It's like, yeah, we know. How does that change anything? How does that address the actual criticism? You said it yourself. It still doesn't look as good as the other platforms. Like, pretty blatantly, it doesn't look as good as the other platforms. The problem is that they're charging you and marketing the game as if it was. And it's not just the graphics. It's not just the graphics that's getting Mortal Kombat 1 destroyed on the Switch. It's everything else.
Interesting. So we got like, look at this. You guys honestly think this is how the game is supposed to look?
I don't know, but it's how it looks. So are we allowed to talk about that, or no? Did you close the criticism gates because it might look bad on Nintendo's part?
Look at this. Look at the difference. Look at the difference.
Yeah, that looks like garbage too. I'm not really? You put up this and you're like, oh, how could you think this is how it's supposed to look? This is how it's supposed to look. Bro, this looks just as bad. Like, this looks just as bad.
They lying to you. Look at Liu Kang. Looking all unfinished. Pay attention to the textures. Pay attention.
Oh, trust me, we're paying attention to the textures. They are unavoidable. We're paying attention.
Now look, this is the real difference. Doesn't look as good as PlayStation 5, but it doesn't look like that.
It still looks really bad. Honestly, that was probably the worst comparison you could have picked, because yeah, you put this on screen. You're like, huh, how could this possibly be what the game is supposed to look like? This is what the game is supposed to look. Bro, this isn't better. This isn't better.
Look at Reiko. Also looking like a gummy bear. But how's he supposed to look on Switch? Interesting. The textures are there.
Yes, the textures are there. Let's take a look at these amazing textures. Let's look at how his hand is literally phasing through the knife. Let's look at all of these amazingly smooth angles. Let's look at this incredible facial animation. Let's look at the fucking dog vomit in the background that's supposed to be a statue, I think, or something. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's literally impossible to tell.
Wow. Amazing. So now you guys see why I wanted NetherRealm to put out an official video of the Nintendo Switch version so people could see how the game is supposed to look, because you got people out there lying in these gaming streets, and I saw it coming.
Yeah, again, if you want a good analysis of this version of the game, just watch the Digital Foundry video. It's going to give you everything you want. God damn. It's been a minute since I did like a live video response. Even when I do video responses, I usually write them now. But oh my god, this one was short enough that I was like, oh, I can probably just sit down in front of a mic and knock this out. And fuck me, that was painful. I'm gonna go take a shit, and maybe you'll see this later today. Not the shit, the video, which is shit. I'm so funny. Wow, toodles.